Anyway, let's get into the vent phase finally. We are going to be seeing Guts on that defense first, and that means we will see the aggression that Cyclops likes to bring. And potential garage pushes, that end up in very quick plants on the likes of Guts, because they will have to wait 6 rounds before they can do so. But we might see some aggression and some quick plays coming down from Cyclops after they realized how effective it was against themselves.
Well, Ying is off the board first, and that's a fair removal. It's one of those kind of troublesome ops where if you know a team is sharp, you want to blunt that as best as possible. And in the hands of someone confident, there is a huge risk and reward payoff with a great Ying player. The fastest ace, I still believe that record still stands in T1 history.
Which one?
Was the Hungry Ace with Ying?
The fastest one.
Was that the fastest?
I believe. I cannot remember one that was quick, to be fair.
Yeah, and it's off the back of the bravery of Candelas. And I think taking that out is, that's kind of making the statement of, okay, we're expecting that pace, we're expecting that sort of play. Talking about expectation, they're having a bit of a think. Valkyrie is often removed again to limit the possibility of that mobility outside the building. And there she goes.
Yeah, Valkyrie is very often banned on this map. For a while, we've seen it being in tandem with a Nomad ban. However, that one seems to be less and less on the board, meaning that Nomad sees more play in Consulate than she has over the past couple of games. Question now is, of course, will she also be picked up by Cyclops? Doesn't look like it so far. Montaigne coming out, however, could be quite interesting, as Cafeteria Garage is the one that they decide to go for. And a glass. Okay, this might be indeed a attempt for a quick plant, if I'm looking at it like that. Just pop up your smokes, get the glass to cover, make sure you get the reverse shield plant in. There's options.
Yeah, if this changes to, there it is. That's what I was about to say, is if they want to do this with pace and they want to do this with a Monty, something that can open up that transportable hole much quicker. There's always the run risk of electrics being on the board. It can be countered from some play above, but at the same time, if you get in there with a Maverick, you don't have to worry about it, you can get it in. I think they took a bit of a risk here. They said, well, there's no electrics on the board. There's the possibility of sixthing it out, but I don't think they're going to do it. Let's go to Ace. Let's go to something a little bit different, and let's kind of flirt this idea of the Maverick forward so they think that they can't play electrics. It will work better with the rush play.
It is, right? It's a bit of a double bluff as well coming out. Just you're expecting that they will not be going for any of the electrics. But then again, even if they would float, there's the opportunity of taking piano. Or you could just quickly go for a swing from the yellow stairs and try and take the electricity out. So you are allowed to actually go for the opening. And it seems like they will be proceeding quickly through the yellow door, maybe trying to put some pressure down onto pipes, as Suzu say now, waiting for the call to open up. Of course, there is still going to be Naruni Surya laser gate right behind that one, so they will have to get rid of that, or at least toss some utility through if they want to go for the plant.
Gataradas looking to try and apply some pressure just in piano above as they still steadily drone out. They are assuming I'm going to have them smoke off the bottom of yellow, get that glass in there, see if he can swing and apply some flat pressure across the face of it. But without some of that pressure above, it means that there's always the worry of someone swinging around from piano, putting pressure at the bottom of the stair set. There, though, is Monty starting to try and dig himself in, heads up the staircase at first, sees Yura and says, not today. The Echo drone starts popping off as they already pop those Aruni gates on the entrance to the site itself. Light, realizing they might need to start opening some angles and hold on to the ACOG. There is that smoke, and there is that smoke. Counters back the glass. They can't get the angles and the shot that they wanted. Buy some time, and Ayagata is the first off the board.
Yeah, Crazy Papillon will be able to pick up that kill. Very well played so far, but CCC manages to find himself in the actual site. 2 stuns already happening on one of the yokai drones. Means the second one now should be getting into position, but CCC already fell back. Not going for the plant right now, trying to hold back. Will be spotted out by Lily, though, as a grenade is going to be taking care. No, actually not taking care of that yokai or Lily himself. And Anata now pushing on that top floor with Gadarada, hoping to take control.
Well, the sprays come over the top of the black car as Lily gets aggro and JJ gets worse. Black Ray drops and there's Monty pressured on the stairs. Anaton falls and so does Suzu C. Suddenly, it's only Galarada left on the second story. Is able to find 1 and 2 with a hell of a play with that very tough to control SMG. A minute on and a 3 versus 1 and a cold diffuser on the opposite side of a very big site right now. There's still an Echo on the board. I'm not sure if we've still got the drones. Is that part of our UI? Do we get that yet?
Yes, on the right top you see. Oh, you see one is still in play and one is in pocket, but the pocket is Alligator, and the drone that is in play is Suzu C. But he's now, of course, he's trying to chop down the tray.
I meant the Echoes. Yeah, this is a team
talk. Yeah, this is a team talk indeed.
Welcome to Minecraft, is what Medics has just said. No, this is not the new Siege event. There's actually a very wonderful Siege event that's just started, and they're taking this moment to talk about things. They're, reevaluating. It was 10 seconds. It's a 3 versus 2 versus 1, a triple kill for Galarada. Can't quite get any diamonds out of the rough there, my friend. There was an Echo drone, and there's a Guts Gaming round.
Yeah, decided to eventually not go for it. Not quite sure due to okay, so Reaper, for example, he always goes a bit insane when people decide to save KD, especially when you go off a defuse plant the moment that someone runs in. And this one as well, I managed to bring it back to a 1v2. It's always worth it to just run in and try and get the kills, right? Okay, you might be losing your life, but does that really matter in the end?
I think it's
just run for it.
See, okay, I guess it's always the balance of what are they doing with that time. When you have a minute, sometimes teams, as we see, like to talk, like to kind of, go, okay, well, what went wrong? What can we piece together? It's after the first round and you try to rush strategy. You tried this smoke plant. They had the Echo above, which was, if we're going to talk about the brilliance of the 6th pick between the Maverick and the bait and play, I think the read on that it was a smoke plant is a very good pick up there for the Echo. Is they expected fully what was going to happen. They realized it's going to be a lot of covered sightlines, so let's just spray some of those disruptive Echoes down. And there was still Echo drone standing at the end, because it's always, I know there's been so many additions to the UI, and here I am like, could there be more?
Give me also the yoke eyes.
I do have to use my eyes sometimes to track. This was really clean. This was the moment where it's obviously like they threw themselves at it. They had lined up a little bit, so it wasn't too much, but it was an opportunity of we're in a 5 versus 1. We know where he is. Let's just see if we can get the kill.
Really like the fact of the vigil, actually. Every single time the last shot before heading back into cover or heading, quitting the pre-fire, manages to find a head somehow. Both on Monty and on, I believe it wasn't the ace, but on well, maybe it was actually the ace on the reinforced wall right there. Just able to wreak some havoc. And Cyclops not able to win that first round. Not too problematic so far, as long as they still manage to get away with 2, maybe 3. They should be in for a win here.
So
that does mean they need to worry.
Play. No, I'm just going to say they're already putting their way up Visa stairs. I don't know if they know that Black Ray is here. The drone is giving the pings. There's the swing and there's a free kill. And this round is kicked into overgear light. Opens a big angle. Too little, too late light as Black Ray finds a second and swings to the third. Heard the impact, but Alligator finds JJ Lily. Stems the flow and the blood and the bleeding, but there's already so much on the floor. Now it leaves you down with a smoke, unfortunately mislabeling that canister, and this confrontation goes the way it's only the smoke left.
And it's a bit of a quicker round that we used to see from Cyclops. The aggression coming in, the kills coming in, definitely in their way. A sneak up on the Visa stairs, able to land him 2 kills basically. The Echo being a bit too late with the impact. Not able to respond to it. And after that, Cyclops bringing it up to 1-1 after a very slow round in round number 1. We have one that was almost 4 times as fast right now in round 2. But again, we see the Monty coming out. This is not an operator we really saw last time around, and we are going to Archive Stellars now.
I guess, I didn't expect it to stick. You kind of saw what else they were bringing last time. The semblance of utility, the kind of what they wanted to put behind the Monty push and plant. So I think they're... I mean, I don't think it's the last that we've seen in the Monty. I have a feeling that they'll be back. I guess there's still a lot of smoke canisters in pocket, though, if they're going Twitch smokes. What do I know?
Yep, there is definitely a lot of smokes available to them. Triple ADS and Harry Potter. All right.
Dig in.
They really don't want to be pushed from that side on. So what I was thinking, like, yeah, I mean, you could bring the Monty, but that would also indicate a garage push when you try and take the bottom floor, the archives, rather than, because you're very vulnerable from a C4 down below. Shield really will not protect you if one lands underneath you, meaning that a Teller's push would not be in the works for Cyclops. Now they have swapped off of him. They brought the Twitch, bringing up the F2. Great gun to play with. In the meantime, Black Ray again with some of these amazing kills, opening up the round, basically by opening up the top floor and making sure that his team didn't have to be afraid anymore of potentially being shot from verticals.
Oh, that's a Twitch drone that Lily's just got as a freebie there, rotating back around to the site, and, well, I'll take that, thank you very much. And now then, it's the first time that we've seen them play without the Echo so far. Realized it couldn't quite handle the pace and the pressure, so they've gone with a little bit more of a live feed on what is being applied on them with the Mozzie. It allows them to catch some of the drone gain and limit it, and there it is. There's the cost. Guts open it up this time. They were trying their drone play on the top floor, but it didn't quite have the same success as before. The calls are continuous. That is 2 of the 3 rounds, though. They've lost their Ash as the entry.
Indeed, not looking very well. And as well as the fact is that they already lost 5 drones by the start of the prep phase, basically, and now that is going to be up to 6. Only 3 remaining for 2 minutes, trying to drone everything out, trying to get some control, trying to find these picks. It's not going to be very favorable here for Cyclops. Need to rely on that gun skill if they want to be opening up. Getting a ping out now, but Anaton, the pressure is long gone as it's actually Yura trying to rotate down, able to pick up that kill. Suddenly a 5-on-3 is what's on the board here for Cyclops to work with.
Swings round to the reverse angle to see if they can catch anybody heading to the top of Visa's stairs, but with a 2-body advantage, they don't need to take it. That's 1 less, though. Suzu C cuts his way across the top and starts applying some pressure on the CEO console side. Yura still dabbling around this Visa service side, peppering bullets towards the possibilities of entrances. Concern, as one of those many pocket smokes we talked about before is popped, but Suzuki heading across that long top is a very dangerous game to play, as is the solo push currently from Black Ray happening along the bottom, entirely isolated, waiting for the response in the rotation down the yellow stairs there from the back cover, but Lily finds Gatorada in the meantime, puts it into a 4 versus 1 as Black Ray drops 2. There's not much time left for Suzu to make some magic happen.
45 seconds indeed, and the entirety of Cyclops already got picked apart. It's only up to him now. He does carry that diffuser with him, but there's 2 members playing in the bottom floor. There's 2 playing on that top floor. Everywhere there's cover as he picks up 1. Is afraid of the push potentially coming down from Spiral, but that's not the case. It was all the way in the back of Archives, and will he be able to find him as the hatch is being watched? He gets some shots towards them, but he's not able to pick them up as of yet. Spots the head, but so far Suzuki not able to hit any of them, not able to hit any of their shots. And while the time runs out, surely this will be used as a bit of a feedback moment again of what will we do in the next round, as we are going back to Garage as Yura takes down that final kill. Guts Gaming take the lead yet again.
Well, Guts Gaming have already matched their last performance on this map against Cyclops. This is also, you know, the last team that went up against Cyclops on this map was only able to pull 3. 1 more round and they're already off to a much better start and overall performance. And to be honest, what I'm seeing so far is very good. They're adapting well. The pickup there and the change, as I said before, to the Mozzie over the Echo is live adaptations, is let's change up the game a little bit, let's pull back away from, you know, this kind of more stoic hold. And here again, I think they're baiting the pressure on the drones there. They're swapping it off because I think, you know, back down here, they're expecting that shield play and expecting that shield push. So the Echo worked very well last time. They had him buried inside sight. Worst case scenario, he has a gun that can start getting involved in the fight. Last time, on the other sites, in general, it's a bit tougher for him. Sure, on lobby, you can kind of bury him inside where the smoke was playing if you wanted to, but then you just have 2 kind of dead anchors locked in a single space. Here, though, you know, you have a little bit more mobility. You can bounce back around the kitchen, or if you want to rotate towards the spiral, you have the potential of an escape, even pressure from pipes. Sometimes you'll see some Echo players lodged in and locked up there. I guess let's see if the, you know, if the adaptation, they've dropped the Monty, obviously. That's probably the biggest change here, and what are they else going to do? Or what else are they going to do? If I put the words in the right order.
I was just going to highlight the usage of Surya gates. Really like to see that. You might be thinking, all right, why don't they use 3 on that wall, or why do they leave the middle one without a Surya gate? That's just purely due to the fact that very often the most left and the most right wall are the ones that get opened up. And by putting down a Surya right there, you force them to use extra utility, or they will be taking damage if they move through. And that will be helpful. And the middle one is often the one panel that you can cover up really well from, well, inside behind the black car, from the holes that are being made in security. Hence the reason why they leave that one without a Surya and use that 9 out of 10 times, I believe, onto the yellow door, which is often a high contest point as well.
I really like this visual play. He's buried round the back. If they wanted to play against their drone game, this is going to buy them some time. There's concern as to where he is and what angles he's holding. More drones. That's 3. One of them being a Twitch drone we've seen lost over the past 20 seconds just to this vigil on the back. They need to try and find another point of ingress. Not sure what the Echo drone is doing there. It's a... Well, that's a use for an Echo drone. I think they want to give a bit more intel on the potential of a swing out there to see if there's a single body or just how much pressure there is, but it's at a bit of a cost.
I'm not so sure about why the actual drones are being used to get rid of the series. Of course, it's a way, but considering the fact that they are lacking information over the past couple of rounds, CYCLOPS not really doing well with the drone economy. Only have 1 drone left, no Twitch drones either, and that means that is what they will have to try and clear literally everything with in this next minute and 10 seconds to come on that board. They do, of course, have smoke grenades. They have a couple of normal grenades that will be tossed in as well, but Suzer C needs to survive first if he wants to use them.
Both Echo drones were sacrificed to look and get a peek out onto there, and Light is going to try and make amends for that. Drops Anaton on the rotation round on the bottom of the yellow stairs. Euro finds Galarada. There's the hop out, and there it is. Revenge for the 2 fallen Echo drones caught on the way back in onto the breach by Gator, who is above, looking to try and pepper where that vigil once was no longer, with Black Grey holding a bit of a pinch angle here on the bottom of yellow. They need to try to find one more body. They have the potential to put themselves into a 3 versus 2, but they don't have a huge amount of utility, and now they have 1 less player. The quick swing with the English shotgun finds one, finds revenge, but it's Guts Gaming to do 1 step better than before and continue the pressure.
Guts really doing well so far, making sure that CYCLOPS is not getting too many rounds on the board. Even though CYCLOPS were the ones that chose attack, surely they will not be super happy with the outcome so far. They're being outplayed, and their drone game is pretty weak, I have to say. They're not able to get the information that they need. They just, you know, send them in. They get taken out, and then they don't have anything to follow up with. Like, they throw grenades, but there's still 3 ADSs there that they weren't able to smoke out before. And because of that, you see all these drones going to waste. And now also a Mosley being brought out by JJ is going to be making that even worse.
I think it's it as well, is there was a lot of sacrificing on drones. I'm still kind of, you know, I guess piecing together how much intel they, or how desperately they wanted the intel of who was outside there to send both Echo drones through the same drone hole and get them both shot. I guess it's one of those plays and one of those moments where if you're thinking this was a success before, like these players, these teams, obviously they're always going to know their gameplay and gameplay in general better than we ever will sat here. They're in the comms, they're in the moment, they know the risks that they want to take and they know why they're taking them. It led to success. But it's a bit of a bold call to take the utility that pulled the round into a success for you last time and say, yeah, we can use this for intel.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they don't have drones, then why don't you show them how to drone, right? Like, you can almost bring it like that. Yokai drone, of course, used to stop plants, but if you make sure that you use them before they even can get to plants, that could be a way to guide your fraggers to jump out and get those kills on the outside of the garage wall, basically dismantling the setup that Cyclops want to break. Look at this, right?
Yeah.
There's a pest underneath. They first have to destroy it. Now, Ashley's probably going to use one of her charges, or she has to use a drone. So she's definitely going to lose 2 drones if she does that. So she's most likely forced to use a charge here, which then means that, for example, a shield is no longer able to be taken out.
Black Ray knows somebody's above. They're playing with the idea of frag grenades. They went for the cook last time, but this time, well, they know it's a little too late, actually. They've pulled off the pin yet again. They keep taking it out and putting it back in. Luckily, they don't loose. Otherwise, that's a very dangerous thing to put back into your pocket. But Anaton, stacked up here right by the vending machine, keeping himself cool and refreshed as he passes that intel to the rest. There's the attempt. There is most of half of the health. Black Gray's looking for the finisher with the shotgun underneath. And I guess JJ is lucky to survive. That is one of those bits where they were using the Man Mountain as that wall of intel, as that little pop of he's here, no, he's here, front of piano. There it is. JJ suffering so intently from every angle, and he somehow escapes. Yura is the first off the board. There it is. Nowhere else for the man to go.
Took him a long while, managed to survive for a long time. Xanaton now will take care of Lily. That is the smoke going to be gone, but we still have Crazy Papillon that will be moving up onto the yellow stairs. Has a potential to slow down this Executor, maybe even stop it right in its tracks as they want to go for that plant. But Alligator still upstairs with that diffuser is going to be costing a lot of time right here for the likes of Cyclops. And as we will finally drop, there is still that top floor control for the likes of Guts Gaming, which they can potentially use.
Well, there is Monty swinging around Antechamber, picking up and dropping the shield to bait the play, but look at this, Alligator is just going to stick the diffuser in the meantime. Light went for the big rotate to see if he could try and apply the pressure from above, can't quite get the angle on the man outside the doorway, and there it is. Papillon is dropped on the backside, a post-plant situation. The first time today, and Light is struggling to find anywhere that's safe. Apparently nowhere is safe. Cyclops find their second of the game, both of them on lobby. Now's the challenge. Can they do it somewhere else?
Yeah, if they manage to pick up one more round, then it is basically still a decent health. Even though we saw some questionable attacks, we saw Guts destroying them on the garage takes that they have been trying. And this is actually the time that we saw Monty coming to good use. Using it as an information piece, using it as a walk-in indestructible drone really helped them out here, especially as they have been struggling with that. And of course, then you bring it again, Anaton on that Monty. See Black Ray playing on that Nook now has the opportunity to, go undetected. But as I say that, of course, the 6-bit comes in to himself. Yeah, unfortunate. Thought we were going to see some Nook play, but not yet.
I mean, I think you have a little bit of a bias to Nook. I don't know why, though.
It's a fun operator.
Uh-huh.
It sneaks past everything. Suddenly the surprise factor is there.
Has Benelux claimed Nook?
No, we've claimed Frost.
Frost.
Actually. Yeah.
Okay, that's a bolder claim.
No, it's not even a bold one to claim.
I mean, she's Canadian.
Yeah, and Nook is not even Dutch. Like, Jana's Dutch.
Yeah, but it's closer. You know? Frost is on the other side of the world. Different continent.
True. But we do use Frost quite a lot in the Benelux League, so that's fine. Mm-hmm. Gamma was the ones to introduce it to Tier 1, I believe.
Well, I guess Gamma has to be mentioned somewhere in Tier 1, because it's...
Yeah, they don't make it anyway, you know, like...
Guts Gaming, 3-2 versus Cyclops, and they've gone with the split sight. They're going to see if they can double down on what they were able to pull last time, and it started with the response of the drone game. They bought that Mozzie, they were able to try and capture and take that first frag, that first bit of momentum out of the winds and the sails of CAG. So, seems like CAG are going with a slightly different pinch push here. They're not throwing themselves in so desperately onto the top floor at first, instead digging themselves around the middle, trying to find some angle as they free up the attention beneath. They're making sure that those rotations are covered, so when those top bodies try to drop down, they don't just have an easy pick of these bodies making their way through Cafe and through the garage. Instead, it means things might be a little bit more of a damage. Harry Potter gets exploded, no ADS is there to catch that so far, but whether they're on the backside of the wall... Oh, no, did it? Did it get the shield?
I don't think... No, the shield's still up. And I'm not sure where I heard the actual explosion then. Because
No, the shield is...
No, it's destroyed.
The ADSs didn't
That's even
catch
worse.
it.
Oh, they burned it. Okay, never mind. Thank you, medics, for letting us know as the smoke cannon is now being put in. But Canetton right here is, well, the one under pressure. Somehow manages to survive in between two of those smoke cannons. This is now kind of stuck, but Black Gray will have his back. And it's only up to Crazy Papillon now in a 1v4 situation. One man coming down the Visa stairs is Dokkaebi getting off one shot with the DMR. But in the meantime, Canetton going down for that plant. 45 seconds and a 1v3 on the clock.
Wow, this was tough, and that was very well executed from Cyclops. Didn't even see Dokkaebi where she approached. I'm assuming this hatch that Barner opened maybe popped it from the opposite side. The drone hole from the outside. Oh. That's why we didn't notice it.
See, Medics is our...
Yeah, Medics is feeding the stuff. Even the stuff that Medics, I don't think, sees, just knows. Medics is
goated.
Medix is like a Cthulhu monster. Sold their soul for the ability to know everything about Siege. Cafe Garage. Even split, even half. It was, I think, some of the aggression that paid off in the hands of Guts Gaming, but now they've got to have more than ever. You're pushing on what can be a very good aggressive map. Sometimes if a team that's been quite happy to take big swathes of control of the map, as we've seen Cyclops do, think of all the rounds there on the attacks where it was a Cyclops player already in, crouch walking around. Usually with Consular, instead what you'll see is a lot of window hold, a lot of window play. It's, you know, cited as being a map where you can take entire sites without ever entering the building. That's not how Cyclops wanted to play it. They wanted to get in, get aggro, and get their boots on the ground. That on their defense, where the ground is already theirs and they're just trying to control it, that can spell a very good attitude. And I think it's now up to Guts Gaming to kind of have a little bit of that same, you know, risk-reward mentality.
Well, talking of risks, going to that bottom floor first as Cyclops, as that's the only site you've managed to lose twice previously here in APAC North 2021 is potential risk. Let's see if they will be able to hold off the attack, the approach this time around. I do see some shields on the top of pipes. We do have, of course, have the yokais on CZC that will be feeding information, having a potential of cancelling out these plans if they will be a bit too quick. As Lily is getting a Twitch drone in position, that one might be able to counter some of those yokais.
Now then, let's see what they can do on a site that they're able to, well, keep it locked in their fate on both their defenses. It seems like there's the quick play and pressure here on the wall. They're not getting themselves thrown into the building just yet. It seems like they want to be all hands on the cover and the possibility of charging in. We said that this was the way that T1 were able to pull some of the rounds before. Let's see if Cyclops have learned and adapted to that. You can see the Vigil isn't too far away on yellow. Galarada is ready as well above. They're trying to cover the swing and the possibility of someone heading up. But look at this. Sanaton's going higher up, looking to try and potentially pop out of that yellow window. There's nomads, there's air jabs, there's concern, but there's also 5 blue bodies stuck outside of this westerly front.
So Lily under drone, I believe it is actually, and that could have been quite dangerous if the jump out will come, but Light now entering Crazy Papillon as well. It means that the plant will surely follow soon. Gatorada, however, will be able to shut down one. The yokai drone will go back to the ceiling and will actually survive for a little bit as it goes down underneath the white van. And before Light manages to get it, Plant, however, not coming down quite yet though, with 90 seconds left on the clock, even though they have side control.
They have a huge amount of concern. The kill frame came from Gatorada above, and Ayagator finds Yura as well. Look at this. They're just swanning their way back in, but somehow they found an angle to put the diffuser down. JJ is heavily isolated and no longer. As the expected turn of events plays out, this isn't going to be an easy diffuser to cover though. Such a huge angle for Lily to try and swing on here. It's all on the opposite side, and he doesn't even get close. They went with a deep plant, went with a risk, but when the first kill comes from the body still happy and holding on to piano, it doesn't spell the best success.
It doesn't, no, but if you are with 3 people on the site and you're waiting this long to get your plan down, even though you just took out one of the yokais, that is something that should be going better, right? You want to get that plan down. You want to get yourselves back out of the building as quickly as possible because it is just a bit of a death box that they find themselves into. And right now, Cyclops able to pick up that round straight away due to them waiting so long, giving Cyclops the opportunity to rotate back and try and take the side back. Just flood it back with your own numbers because they did have a man advantage. So waiting too long might have costed them right here. And of course, you don't want to plan default spot, especially not if one is playing above, but you could still go in between the white van and the black car. It's easier to counter. It's easier to play up against. And it would save you a lot of time.
Well, lobby, which has been a Cyclops site so far, I guess. Let's see if that continues onto their defense. The first refusal of a post-plant situation has been played now, and it's, well, all of those plants that have gone the way of Cyclops as of yet. But obviously, that was a good quick read from Guts. They just couldn't quite get those kills that really hoped and prayed as they swung themselves in with aggression that they could, if they had found even one and kept an even body balance, especially, you know, putting pressure towards the cafe side, they might have had a little bit more confidence to try that plant between the black car and the white van. They might have even had a bit more confidence to swing aggressively. Maybe try and swing onto the pipes corridor, see if they can put anyone down from spiral. There was some soft setup, I believe, but if anything, that might buy them some comfort that they're a little bit more comfortable.
All right, see the air jabs already being put out just purely because of the jump outs. Guts is trying to cover themselves in, hoping that the aggression of Cyclops will not be coming to hunt them. Wait, did that air jab get caught by the magnet?
Yep.
But there's another magnet out there. Oh, another magnet. 2 magnets now. Are they going to be throwing even more up there, or are they realizing that they're not going to be able to get the air jabs onto the window right there, making sure that no jump outs will occur, and having those magnets right there, that might be very helpful for the playstyle that Cyclops want to play.
I think it's, you know, it's one of those adaptations where it's like they know that they're going to try and limit the aggression that they want to play, and instead of putting aggression somewhere else, they go, no, let's just counter the air jabs. Let's just put it in a situation where they're not as happy and they're not as confident with what they're doing. You can see things are being popped still steadily above. They burnt those discs, but there's another disc just after all of the flashes, just after the first 2 have been destroyed. Hanneton, this is his balcony, and he's making sure he's the only one that gets to enjoy the views up there.
And now last flashbang also used and will be tossed up into the connector window, meaning that that disc will stay there. He has repelled up now, though. Might have actually taken it out in the result and will be holding the windows himself rather than using an air jab to do so. Might be a bit more consistent in this case. But Hanneton watching from the connector window, waiting for JJ to step back out, but he is going to go down for the plant in the meantime. Crazy Papillon will be able to get a kill, though. They're unaware of the fact that 45 seconds are on the clock right now. They do have a man advantage, but they do not have the positions to work with.
Really great play there to be able to just find the diffuser and put it in. They cleared a tiny pocket of space and trusted it. There is the hop out, long awaited, and there is one from it, but Lily isn't playing any games, and JJ's watching for another. There it is. There's one swing, and oh, caught from the other. 3 different angles to cover, and then, well, 4 rounds in a row. This makes it for Cyclops.
I really have to say, you can see how the air jabs, like the ones that kept on being eaten by the magnets, really helped them out there. They wanted to go for jump outs. They also realized that as soon as a plant happens, you need to be taking the challenge to the outside, especially in the place where it happens, because they are going to be around that porch. They are going to be repelled up on the windows. And you don't want to be blasted off the roof as you go and jump out of that window. So the little play that we saw very early on in the round, the ones with the magnets being tossed out, making sure that nothing that Yura tried to shoot up there would stick, really helped him later on in the round.
Split site for the potential of putting themselves onto map point, and well, that's, as I said before, 4 rounds in a row across both attack and defense. They found success, and they're seemingly building upon it. I know at the very start of this I said Guts might find some success if they replicate where success was found with T1, which is that sharp little push onto site, that post-plant and the hold. But Cyclops have learned a lesson from how it was gone down previously. Seemingly they're aware on this. They've stepped it up, obviously, since the previous performance. And okay, it's fair to say they took a 7-2 during the national finals against Guts. And it just seems like Guts came in with that game plan. They came in with that idea of, let's try and do this. Let's see if we can pull some success from this. Cyclops are just winning their ones. They're winning those fast firefights back into the base.
They are now indeed, but during the start of the matchup, Guts seemed to be really strong. They were able to pick up their defenses and completely shut down Cyclops, especially on the garage, early on in their setup, early on in their game plan. And that really hurt Cyclops, and it looked like Guts might be, you know, the better team here today, but Cyclops able to turn it around, able to put up 3 rounds themselves on the board due to pure aggression that they managed to bring, and now find themselves onto the defense. That is a territory that they feel very comfortable at. They like to jump out, they like to go aggressive out of these windows. They just roam around like the building is theirs because it is, and that is what gives them a lot of these rounds, a lot of these frags.
Waiting to see if there's anybody playing around. Those admin buried back behind those boards, and it's Anaton. And there's Anaton. Finds Papillon for the opener. The Mozzie causing problems with the drones, stopping the entrance, and as well just holding them off. If you wanted this kind of double up of a person and a kind of bit of utility from somebody else, Black Ray's donation of those little spiders has really played well into the hands of the man who's already very invisible. 2 drones, jiggle peeking 2 sets of windows, and yet he's still surviving, able to keep moving past them, finding new pockets of space. The 3rd body has come up into officers and printer now, and caught by Black Ray. I said he offered support with utility before. He does even more with his gun. Irrigator finds Lily. Suddenly everything is falling to bits for Guts Gaming, all focused with 4 bodies trying to find 1 man. JJ stops Gatorada at least on the swing in, but with Anaton still above, it's a very dangerous staircase to enter.
Just a dangerous door to enter as well right there. And JJ, you know, they need to find an option somewhere. They need to find an entry, and they know it's the split side. There's an opportunity to go to archives, especially with the amount of people that are playing upstairs. You might be able to get a plant off, might get lucky in a post plant right there. And as JJ rotates around, Light still active near the Visa staircase window, has an opportunity to maybe put some pressure down, make some noise, hoping that he is going to be distracting the members. Actually, JJ entering from the... Okay, that's an interesting one. Entering console office. Will be trying to clear the top floor with 35 seconds left. And the diffuser, if he dies, the round is over.
Oh, he's steadily just finding his route and his way round. There's a lot of potential for somebody to swing on, and not a lot of time. There's a jiggle around a door, and there's Anaton, but there's still a body up here. There it is, Black Ray. Mozzie's dug in. Light at least finds 1, but no diffuser and an echo to get through. This is unfortunately in the bag for CAG. Putting themselves onto map point, finds at least a bit of an exit pad there against Black Ray, but also finds themselves with a lot of work to do.
This might be a moment where Guts would like to call out a tactical timeout. Not sure if they will, because this is actually the moment where they need to start picking things up. They had a good idea. They just weren't able to deal with the man upstairs, with the vigil that was playing, well, around the office, you know, like making sure that, okay, they know where I am. Let's relocate, get into a different corner of the office, make sure that they have to literally destroy every single cubicle in there, and still weren't able to find him, still weren't able to get the kill down. And Cyclops now 6 on 3 managed to, even though due to a poor start on their attack, which they chose themselves, managed to bring it back. And how many rounds in a row is it now? I believe
that's 5.
4 or 5.
That's 5
indeed,
rounds in a
yeah.
row. 2, the last 2 attacks, and then now 3 defenses. I can count.
It's 3 and 3, yeah.
Well, either way, yeah. Map point, Cyclops. You've kind of said, I know it was between Consort and Coastline, but they're both still our map.
They like aggressive, like aggression, and they really show it. They like to jump out, they like to run around. I'm going to just keep on repeating it. That's why they brought a Nomad, but they found a solution to the Nomad. You just throw these magnets outside as they are being shot in. Right now, of course, we don't see that operator, but we do see a Jaeger and a Wamai playing. So if they would like to go for a bit of a quick-paced round, it might not really be working out. Really like, by the way, how they're putting down these Electroclaws. Will be really hard to get rid of that.
I think electrical science is 90% of why people like to play CAG.
Yeah, just trying for people.
Yeah, it's like the people who like to do trick shots, but with CAG claws.
Yeah, just try and hide them, try and put them in the indestructible places, you know, like even if you would go from above right now, you need to find it at an angle. You cannot go straight down because it's, you know, on a box. So that is going to be keeping them still. And yes, of course, they can still get the Electroclaw that is just placed on the roof. That gets the most to left panels. But that means the most right panel will stay closed. And if that is going to be the case, that is not going to be the favorable position you would like to throw your Selmas at. You would like to open up right behind the white van because it gives some sense of security in trying to go for a plant. As JJ now waits to open up, finally, so they could hammer onto the side.
Did Lily get that drone through? He saw the first two get dropped, and I think they just caught that Twitch drone. It had a second of safety, but drifted a little bit too far from the smoke. I don't think they expected the smoke to just go that deep. Thought it would cover a little bit more. It was a good idea to pre-fire. They did almost get it round. The cost, unfortunately, is now, look at this, a huge upheaval as they try and put pressure above. Galaretta is playing on anti-chamber. He's going to put his presence and make it known as he fires towards the body that was swinging above the breach. He's going to make sure he can stick in. They still need to get above to try and get comfortable. Whether that did catch any of the close claws, there was one it did. That Sophia charge was able to get one of the claws now, and they're able to start steadily opening up from that, unless the Twitch drone had a little bit of joint success whilst we weren't watching. But either way, Anaton has built a fortress of ADS's shield and discs. They get thrown out, and he sits a little bit pretty.
Yeah, try and deal with that. There's only 2 concussions left on the likes of Light. There is 2 grenades and Crazy Papillon, and it's the Twitch drone now actually found both Electroclaws, we have to say. We'll be trying to take care of some of the chems as well, temporarily disabling it, and that will be giving them the opportunity to go for the plant. I would say if it wasn't for Anaton just executing the Euro right there on the Capitao. JJ's in, the diffuser will be dropped to Solop to Lily now in a 1v4, but he will not last. It's Cyclops that wins this game 7-3. And are going to be able to, well, basically have a flawless defensive half after a rough start on their attack.
Yeah, it was a really good intro for Guts. I think it has to be seen that we saw them step up. They seemed like they wanted to get a bit ferocious. They seemed like they wanted to put a little bit more in. And I guess technically they did. If you're saying they put a little bit more in than the last time they were on this map, they got 1 extra round. Since then, though, wow, that was 6 threaded in a row for Cyclops. They terrorized